Of the wind has gone out of the wind energy industry in this country. And one of the biggest reasons wind industry experts cite is that Congress has not extended a crucial tax credit, making it financially feasible for the industry to compete with other subsidized energy sources. 9 News reporter Chris Vanderveen is across the studio with more on this. Hey, Chris.
Kyle, thanks. With me right now is U.S. Senator Michael Bennet to talk about this. There's been a number of companies in Colorado. There's been a lot of hesitancy to sort of get going in this full steam because of the question of what Congress is going to do with this tax credit. What can you tell those companies right now?
Well, what I can tell them is that Congress hasn't gotten its job done, and the result is that in our state, which is the third leading producer of wind in this country and one of the largest manufacturers of wind turbines in the United States, we're already seeing layoffs, which we predicted at the beginning of the year. Congress hasn't done its work. I know this is going to get extended. That's what's so painful about this, is these political games are just delaying it and delaying and delaying it, and companies are having to lay people off.
What do you say? There's some folks that say it's just too expensive, it can't compete with the coal industry, maybe it's time for this to go away. What do you say to folks who do say that?
Well, what I say is that wind is getting cheaper every year, the engineering is getting better. None of these tax credits, frankly, whether it's wind or for oil, ought to be permanent in my view. But some of these new industries need some support as they got going, just as all those other industries you're talking about had support at the beginning, and actually in many cases continue to get support. It's become fashionable for people to say the government shouldn't pick winners and losers, as if the current tax code and the current regulatory code isn't doing that every single day. What we ought to be doing is supporting industries that are driving wages up and creating American jobs, in this case Colorado jobs.
I want to bring up a quote from Colorado Representative Doug Lamborn, who said, "The dirty little secret is that even if current wind production tax credit ends on December 31st, projects already in the pipeline will enjoy another 10 years of subsidies. We cannot continue throwing money into the wind chasing an inefficient energy source." You hear that from critics. Sure. You've heard that from the own Colorado delegation. What do you say to them?
Well, I think on this instance, Congressman Lamborn is an outlier. Every other member of the congressional delegation, Democrats and Republicans, support this tax credit. This is a bipartisan piece of legislation supported by President Obama, and it's supported by Karl Rove. There aren't a lot of issues where they come to an agreement. And I think the reason is they see the potential of this wind energy as one source of many that are, in the end, I hope, are going to relieve us of the obligation we have every month of sending billions of dollars of our money to the Persian Gulf for the privilege of buying their oil. That doesn't make any sense.
Does this get solved right after the election, you think?
I think it gets solved right after the election. That may be too late for the 100 folks that have already been laid off. But it's just one more instance where Washington has got to do a better job than just being the land of flickering lights. You know, keeping the lights on for one additional week and one additional month isn't going to make us competitive with the rest of the world.
Senator Bennet, thank you so much for joining us.
We appreciate
it. We'll be right back.